Hey guys, welcome back to the Pop channel. For this week's video, we will be featuring the cutest special rare in the entire Dragon Ball Super card game. So why are we talking about the World Martial Arts Tournament set right now, since it has come out several months ago? The reason is because their power boosters just came out last week, so we are talking about this particular one card. For those people who are not so active in the Dragon Ball Super card game, power boosters are promotion cards that Bandai give out in older sets, usually one card per color, just to give it a boost. So you can imagine my excitement when the World Martial Arts Tournament power boosters came out, and then we saw the Vidale card, this particular one card in question. It actually makes the engine, the blue engine, which is specifically Pan and Hercules, so much more powerful. I was testing it over the weekend, and I was just taken aback how powerful it is. And can you imagine my excitement when one of my buddies messaged me and said that he topped the preliminaries in Singapore, and telling me that he used the Whoop deck. So this deck profile will feature my buddy from Singapore, who with his Whoop deck got first place in the preliminaries there. So without further ado, let's see each other after the intro. Hey guys, welcome back from the intro. Today we have a special guest. I think people who have been viewing the channel, you guys knows him so well. You guys would have already known him. So one of the creators of the Shuffle Time, Alex, would you say hi to the audience?
Hey guys, it's me again, Alex.
So Alex, I've heard from you that you just topped the Singapore prelims with a very special deck. Of course, I guess that the people are looking at the deck right now. Could you maybe tell us a little bit about your deck?
Alright, so this deck, as you can see, is based off Whoop. So it's pretty much a World Martial Arts Tournament deck with some of the new WMAT cards from the Power Booster.
Is that how they call it right now? WMAT?
yeah, because World Martial Arts Tournament is a mouthful, so
yeah, correct. Okay, I think WMAT makes sense, right? Alright, so because the power boosters for WMAT came out on the weekend itself, and I know that a lot of people are playtesting them right now. Me, I'm having a ball of a time just playtesting it. Turn 2 Vidale Engine is so crazy for me. That draw 2 untap 1 at the end of the turn. If they don't deal with it by their turn, especially if I go first, if they don't deal with Pan at the end of their turn, they're gonna have a very hard time dealing with Pan the next turn, which is 25k double strike dual attack.
That's right.
Dual attacker. All right. So maybe for the audience, what does Whoop do? Whoop. The reason why we have to use Whoop is because Pan and Hercules, they have this restriction that it has to be Whoop. It has to be a Whoop leader. That is the reason why. Yep. So that is why we have to use Whoop. And Whoop, when it comes to his activate main, his unawakened side is pretty generic. It is just to attack a leader card. You get to draw 1, untap 2, and his awakened side is this: that activate main is not once per turn. You can use it all the time. You get to choose 1 card from your life, add it into your hands. You get to choose one of your opponent's battle card and return it to its owner's hands, and this card gains 5k for the duration of the turn. That means that you can take 3, if you have 4 lives, you can take 3 cards, bounce 3 back into your opponent's hands, and this card becomes a 30k. That is correct, right?
Yeah, yes, that's right.
Okay, so you could just bounce things back into their hands if you have the life to do that, alright? So, looking at your deck, let's focus on the main deck first. I can see that there is how would you play your deck right now? Like, what is the perfect turn be like?
Okay, so once you get familiarized with this deck, you'll find that this deck is really consistent. So what do I mean by consistent? So for example, turn 1, you almost always play a Dende. So
Dende is so good. It's like go to your deck, pick whatever card you want, like over here, WMAT card, and add it into your hands.
Yeah, that's right. Before I go on, just
Yeah.
want to let you guys know that for the mulligan phase, it's always best to keep at least one Dende and one Hercule in your hand, because the rest is actually searchable by Dende. So you can it's really good because you don't have to keep too many cards on your hand. You just have to keep Dende and Hercule, and you can mulligan away the rest and play Dende on turn 1. So the line of play is you play Dende. You almost always search your deck for Vidale, because that is your definite turn 2 play.
Then maybe a question here would be, if you get Vidale in your hands and you don't get Hercules, so that's also fine, right? So it's either Dende Vidale or Dende Hercules. Would that
That's
be
right.
a fine statement to make?
That's right. That's you're absolutely correct. So, in my case, most of the time I always have Dende, almost always have Dende and Hercule in my hand. So, but like you said, if you're searching hard for Hercule, you didn't get it in the end, you can still use Dende to search for Hercule. The reason why Dende is so good in this deck, because about 80% of the deck is a Dende target.
Yep.
So that line of play, turn 1 you play Dende, and you would almost always take a Vidale. So what Dende effect does is you can take a 5-drop WMAT card from the deck,
Yep.
send it to the warp, and at the start of your next turn you can get it back to your hand.
Yeah, so anyone who doesn't know what Dende does two things, right? When you play, he is a searcher. Just go to your deck, take one WMAT card, World Tournament card, energy 5 or less, which is almost everything down here. Just send it to your warp. Next turn, at the start of the next turn, just add it into your hand. So you don't get it this turn, but it doesn't matter, because at the start of your next turn, you will get the cards, right?
That's
How
right.
often do you use this activate main? So ability, the tap 2.
I almost always never use the ability. In fact, Dende will do his job once it's played. Once he's played, because once you search for the card, you don't always. I have never used his activate main effect before, because the line of play is very straightforward. Turn 1 Dende, turn 2 Vidale.
Yep. And for Vidale to take it into effect, Dende has to be removed from the board. So you
That's
can
right.
use Dende to block a leader's attack, which is gonna be almost 10k. Just use
Correct.
it, block it. You kind of save one life, and then and Vidale is gonna come online the next turn, right?
Yes, that's right. So Dende is always almost your combo target. So be it defensive or offensive, you can combo Dende away to
Yeah.
clear your board for Vidale on turn 2.
If you're okay, because of how new the card is, we're gonna talk a little bit about Vidale. Vidale is one of the power boosters, and if your leader is a World Tournament card, if you don't have any battle card in play, that's why me and Alex was talking about that Dende has to be gone. In my play testing, this is also what I play: either Hercules Dende or Dende Vidale. So that's what you want to have in your hands. If you have this in your hands, you are online. You're good to go. And when Dende comes out, just play Dende and then grab your missing target. If you're missing Hercules, grab Hercules. If you're missing Vidale, grab Vidale. And after that, just hand it over to your opponent's turn and use Dende to combo it, because you need to have no battle cards. And if you fulfill that, it reduces the energy cost by 2. That's why we can play in turn 2. Yep.
That's right.
Yep. And because why we need Hercules in our hands is because Hercules needs to be played from hand when you play Vidale.
Right.
And
Yes.
For Pan, you could search in your deck and you just play it from your deck.
That's right. So another mulligan target is to always send Pan back to your deck. If your opening hand has Pan, I'll send it back to the deck.
Yep, I always send Pan to the deck because Vidale needs Pan to be played from the deck. However, if you have Pan later on in the game, it's fine because it's still you still can play it just like that because you have Hercules on the board anyways. So it's a guaranteed draw 2 like that.
And untap 1, yes.
And untap 1 at the end of the turn. At the end of the turn it's good, but sometimes when play testing, I wish that you just play it and you get the untap 1. That would be so good because you have Sensor Beam and you could untap
it would be too broken if that happens.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree with you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So that's that. So turn 2, you have a 25k. Admittedly, turn 2, you get to draw 2 and untap 1 at the end of the turn. So it's a very safe play. Turn 3, you have a 25k on the board, dual attack, double striker.
That's right. But I must say that although the effect of Pan is very strong when it comes into play, because of Hercule, you get to draw 2 and untap 1. In the current meta, there are a lot of cards that, or rather, I would say Pan is an easy target for KO cards, KO effects. So you must, if you're playing this deck, you must always bear in mind that once you do the turn 2 Vidale, Hercule, and Pan play, you must always keep in mind that Pan has somewhat already done its job. So if you pass turn and the opponent has a way to clear Pan, don't be too sad, because it has done a good job. It drew you 2 cards and untap 1. It's fine. It's really fine. But if the opponent has no answer to Pan, that's when shit happens. Yep.
So that draw 2 untap 1, that's a really good. And I think the good part is it forces your opponent to do a play to remove punt, because he could go on and play his line of play, or he has to respond to this threat on the board, because if he doesn't do it, then he's gonna, a 25.
He's gonna have a good time. Yeah.
He's gonna have a really, really good time. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
All right. Okay.
Maybe some question here. So, okay, I think we explained the whole thing about Pan and Hercules right there, the engine about Pan and Hercules. And when it comes to Hercules, it is stackable. That means you can play Vidale the second time, and you have to play it with 4 energy, because there are battle cards on the board again.
Sure.
When you play the Vidale Engine for the second time, you get to draw 4 and untap 2, because if your old Hercules, which has barrier, stays on the board, that's what's going to happen. Right?
That's right. So let's explain the turn 3 play.
Okay,
so
let's explain turn 3.
Yep. So by turn 3, if you have Pan still on the board, that's fine. You can go in on aggressive, swing with Pan 2 times. So once you get to turn 3, you have 3 mana. There's a lot of plays you can do. For example, we included Announcer, the 1-drop Announcer. There are two types, right? So on turn 3, if you're feeling that your hand is a little small, you could always drop the 1-drop Announcer, Play-by-Play Pro.
Okay.
You would have met the condition of 2 WMAT cards on the board, so you draw 2, right? And another line of play is we can go for the Awkward Situation Trunks and Otokosuki. So assuming your opponent is going wide. For example, I had a matchup against Kid Goku. So Kid Goku decks always goes wide.
Super wide. And
super wide.
Yeah.
Correct. It could be 30k, it could be 20k, but for sure the deck usually goes wide. So Awkward Situation Trunks and Otokosuki is a very, very good way to either apply pressure on your opponent or to clear the board. So on turn 3, you could actually play Trunks, and you could call out Otokosuki for free. And mind you, you can actually repeat Otokosuki's effect if you have one or more
Otokosuki in your hands.
That's right. So assuming that the opponent has built a whiteboard and you want to answer the board, Otokosuki is your go-to answer for clearing the board. So that's one line of play. And if you notice in the deck, there's actually a 5-drop Son Goku. So do you want to explain the card?
Okay, this 5-drop Son Goku is coming out from the anniversary box, and if you read it, you know that this is for Ultra Instinct. Is to bring out Ultra Instinct easier. Okay, so I will explain the cards. Activate main for 1 blue energy. So if your leader is blue, you also choose one of the blue cards with energy 4 and return to its owner's hands. Play this card from it. So for 1 blue energy, you could play him out. And then I believe that your next play is Ultra Instinct.
Yes. So assuming you're going for this line of play, it don't usually happen on turn 3, but depending on the situation, you could do this on turn 3 if you want to. So what I will explain how you could do this on turn 3. So on turn 3, you still have Hercule and Pan on the board.
Yep.
If everyone noticed, Pan is a 4-cost blue battle card.
Yeah.
So it is a target for Son
I'm
Goku.
sorry to correct you. It's a cute.
It is a cute.
It is a cute 4-drop blue battle card.
Yeah. So you could always apply pressure on your opponent, swing twice with Pan, and surprise your opponent by playing Son Goku.
Wow.
So you tap 1 blue, you take back Pan into your hands, and you play Son Goku. And if at that point of time you would have enough cards on your hand, so you could go for Ultra Instinct immediately.
Wow, that's crazy because you definitely would have enough cards in your hands because Whoop draws on attack, and then Pan comes out, you get to draw 2, and then you just return Pan into your hand, and then you just play the Son Goku and go Ultra Instinct. If your opponent tries to go wide, you don't care, everything goes back into his hands. And they have to take care of this triple striker. And if your opponent doesn't have negate, good luck to him.
Yeah, if your opponent doesn't have negate, it's a guaranteed triple strike. That is it doesn't have a blocker on the field. But by that time,
the blocker is gone.
Everything is gone. Yeah. So it's a definite damage to the life. It doesn't have negate. So besides Pan, you guys will have noticed Otokosuki is another target for Son Goku.
Yep, definitely. Yep. So this is another 4-drop that could be cheated out.
That's right. So in another line of play, you could play Otokosuki, either swing at the opponent or clear one of the battle cards. Play Son Goku, take back Otokosuki, and you play Otokosuki again for free.
Oh, okay, hold on. But Otokosuki, you kind of have to do it the next turn, right? Because this Trunks effect is once per turn.
No, the once per turn effect.
Once per turn effect is KO Otokosuki. So you have
you send Otokosuki at the bottom of the deck and you KO one of your your opponent's battle card.
But Otokosuki, when he comes out, it's free.
It's free. Yeah.
So you could just Otokosuki out, and then you swing with Otokosuki. Then you can go and Ultra Instinct from there.
Yes, and like I said, if you play Son Goku, you take back Otokosuki into your hand. You can play Otokosuki again in your main phase.
Okay, Alex, is CS part of this deck build? Because this is very, very nasty.
Of course.
What does the guy do?
Only CS knows the spice. Yeah, man, spice, baby.
This is crazy. All right. Yeah. Maybe another question here. Okay. So now I understand why you play Otokosuki, because one of the questions I would like to ask you is why not Goku and Oop, the other 2 combos? So when it comes to the blue WMAT engine, it's either Goku and Oop or Trunks and Otokosuki. Right.
Well, to be honest, we wanted to abuse Son Goku's effect, so it turns out that Otokosuki and Pan were perfect targets for the Son Goku 5-drop.
For the Son Goku 5-drop.
Yeah. So we both thought that this line of play. I mean, I do agree with you that Son Goku and Oop could be another. Another line of play in this deck, but we wanted to fully abuse the Son Goku effect. But I must say that the Son Goku 5-drop that goes into Ultra Instinct is not your main win con, but you can catch your opponent by surprise.
Yeah, definitely, especially like if they decided to go wide and think that they are safe.
That's right.
right? They're very comfortable with going wide, and they have 2 to 3 30k on the board, and then you just Son Goku Ultra Instinct it, and everything goes back into his hands. And look at your opponent's swing. Do you have negate? No. GG. Done.
GG. Yeah.
You have a big hand. I don't care if you don't have negate. That's that. And if you are returning punt into your hands, Hercules remains on the board. That means you can play her the next turn if you want to.
If you don't manage to kill your opponent somehow by then turn 4 you can hardcast punt.
Yep.
And then you
draw the
assuming
2 cards again.
Yeah, draw 2 cards and untap 1 energy. So let me explain Vegeta Junior in this deck.
Yes, this is a card I want to ask you. You play Vegeta Junior, guys. This is the one of the WMAT power boosters also, and it comes together with Goku Junior. However, Alex here doesn't play Goku Junior, so let's ask Alex why.
All right, so when we were building the deck, we decided that cycling the deck was most important because you wanted to cycle into your key components, your key pieces, in order to pull off the pressure, the punt pressure, and the Ultra Instinct. So Vegeta Junior was almost like a confirmed card of choice in this deck because Vegeta Junior. Forget about all the other effects. Look at its activate mean. It's actually a free card. So activate mean, place this card. If your leader is a world tournament card, place this card from your hand into the bottom of your deck and draw 1 card. So Vegeta Junior actually helps to cycle through your deck faster.
Okay, so maybe for those people who are new to trading card games, cycling is a very, very powerful effect that should not be taken lightly. So what do you mean by cycling? Is that you put some cards back, maybe into your drop area or into your graveyard or back into your deck, and then you draw 1. So if you take a look, what Alex means here is that if you take a look at the activate main for Vegeta Junior, is that if your leader it's a world tournament card, which we are, place this card from your hand at the bottom of the deck, then you draw 1 card. So all he does is that you don't even need to hardcast him. If it's in your hands, put it back into your deck, and then you draw 1 card. Yeah. So that's that. If you have 3, put 3 of them back into your at the bottom of the deck, and then you draw 3. So you just want to draw into the cards that you want. So this is a card that you will usually not hardcast it.
I've never found myself hardcasting it, but I must say that Vegeta Junior is also a target of Son Goku.
Son Goku.
Because it's a 4-drop blue battle card.
But it's the highest cost target, right?
It's the highest cost target. If you technically speaking, yes, you're right.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds pretty good.
Fair.
Yeah. It sounds pretty fair. All right. So you have Vegeta Junior there, and then I think we explained most of the things. Okay, maybe another question would be: announcer ever curious? Look at the top 7. This, if you guys don't know, when it comes to the the WMAT format, usually this is the only searcher that most of us have. Right, when we were playing the WMAT format, this is the only searcher that we have, so people will play that. So a question to you, Alex: how relevant is this card right now in our current format?
In our current format, of course, I mean, if you were to play this deck in a very meta heavy tournament, then I suggest don't play WMAT stuff. because you're bound to meet players like Janemba, Broly, or even HOM Victory Strike. But in this deck, it's a good card. It's a generic searcher. You know, if you're playing a world tournament deck, this is the best searcher. Yeah. So, but I seldom use it because I almost always get Dente on turn 1. But if your hand is ever you don't draw into your pieces, then you can use this announcer to search into your combo piece. But to be honest, I didn't really see myself using this card often, so it is almost always a side deck target for me.
Okay, so this is always a good side deck target, because like when I'm doing play testing, I also do not have problems drawing into the cards I need, because Because the thing is, so Alex and I, both of us, we just keep on saying that, okay, Dende, Dende, Dende. But the thing is, actually, Dende helps us to get the cards that we need. Without Dende, if we already have the cards that we need, we don't need Dende, right? So if you open up with Vidale and Hercules in your hands, you're good. So you don't even need to play Dende on turn 1.
Yes, but Dende itself serves a very good purpose in the deck because it searches for the combo pieces, and if you take a look at the side deck, you see that we do have 2 hidden power East Supreme Kai. So my reason for including these 2 cards is because it's just to apply pressure to opponent. So for example, for Oops Awaken ability, you know the part where they explain that if you take a card from your life, you add 5k to the leader. And you could surprise your opponent by swinging, and then if the opponent has no negate, you can move in for a double strike.
So you go Dende, grab Hidden Power Supreme Kai. The good part is you get to show your opponent, I have this card now in my hands.
Yes, then you have to guess if for double strike or not.
Yes.
In fact, any swing that I have, you have to guess if it's a double strike.
Yeah, you have to guess whether it's going to be a double strike because I show you. It's a pretty ballsy move, right? Like, hey, it's a psychological attack. Like, hey, I have it.
Yeah, it's full of mind games, this card game.
And then they can find a hidden power is Supreme Kai and add it in their hands, but for the next turn.
For the next turn, yeah.
Okay, good. That's good. All right, maybe some questions here. Okay. Let's explain, because of how new the card is, your choice of Overrealm. That Bardock.
Okay, so Bardock actually fits the deck's theme of high draw power. So by now, the viewers should have already noticed that this deck has very high draw power. So Bardock is just another 0 cost draw 2, drop 1 card, and it's a 20k battle card. So it also applies pressure on the board.
Yeah, so you could swing for it, and then your opponent would have to guess whether Bardock's gonna get a double strike.
Yeah, I mean it's a 20k attacker, so more often than not, the opponent always has to defend. By cards. Yeah.
So you could also use it for the game, like if your opponent is down to 1 card, like 1 life, and then you have no energy. You could just do that also and show your opponent. That's pretty good. So so let's talk about. I think we did a full explanation of this deck. I really love it. It's pretty damn good in my opinion. So really mega points for creativity, right? Because how this is not what we are seeing in the meta right now. So maybe let's talk about how would you deal with Kid Goku, skillless Goku. How would you play it?
Okay, so for skillers, it depends on the deck build, but in general, Kid Goku is an aggressive deck, so it tends to go white very fast. Yeah, so how I managed to deal with Kid Goku was I had the Trunks besides that, you can consider most psyching take different machines at the deck. That's just one option. But to be honest, when I was against Kid Goku, it was kind of easy to clear the board because you have Pan is a 25k double strike. Attack, so that's that. And you can use Otogasuki's effect to KO the battle cards. So, for example, if your opponent plays Krillin, and you get a Krillin 15k and a 20k attacker previously. So you can use Trunks, you can use the 15k cards to swing into Krillin, and you can use Otogasuki to clear away the 20k cards. And also, not forget the Deadly Android 8 Kid Goku combo. So, if your opponent has these 2 cards on the field, it is bound to be a problem. It is bound to be a problem. So what you could do is you could cast Otogasuki for free, and instead of swinging with Otogasuki, Ototsuki, because if you swing with Ototsuki, they will put the combo phase. That's when you can destroy Ototsuki. So
correct.
Instead of swing, you cast Ototsuki, and you set Ototsuki to the bottom of the leg, and you kill Android 8.
Okay, so your high target value is Android 8. So you kind of have to base Ototsuki instead of the big battle cards. You have to take care of the Android 8.
Yeah, yes, because more often than not, there's always the keep Android 8 combo on the board. So that's the problem. That's the problem that you have to take care of.
Yeah, they are horrible problem. So yesterday while I was doing, not yesterday, on Friday while I was playtesting it, what I did is I have to awaken myself without untapping 2, because what I wanted to do is I was playing Son Goku and Whoop. The combo that sends 2 20k under the bottom of the deck. So my opponent has 2 Son Goku, Kid Goku, and 1 Android 8. So I flip over, I use Whoop's ability, bounces Android 8 back into his hands. Then I play Son Goku and Whoop just to put it under his deck so that no effects goes through. Right?
Yeah,
then he has to deal with whatever's on my board, which is Son Goku and Whoop.
Yeah. So this deck do provide outs for Kid Goku. You just have to watch your sequence and how you go about.
Yep. So you can use Whoop's ability, bounce the Android 8 back, and then do things. So you okay, good. Another question would be: did you face up against any Janemba players?
Oh, luckily enough, I did not face any Janemba players. There were 2 Janemba players in the preliminaries, and they did well. They went to top 4, but they lost in the last round. So that's that. But I was lucky enough not to face any Janemba. So I feel that this deck might lose to Janemba because of the high draw power.
Okay.
So you have to play around it. Yeah.
Yep. Or go super aggressive.
Yes. Yes, you have to go super aggressive. But I somehow think this deck still falls short if it's against Janemba somehow, because there's no tech card against Janemba.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah. So that's why the disclaimer in the beginning of the video was this is a fun deck. Use it.
Yes.
Use it at your own discretion. Yeah.
Okay, but I'm just gonna advertise it at first in preliminaries because that is what actually happened, right? You got you top. How many players were there?
So there were 16 players. Because there were only enough for 16. In fact, more than 20 players showed up. So some of the players had to be turned away, unfortunately. Right. Yeah, but it shows how competitive the scene is, because when the stakes are high, you really get all the players joining, trying to get a piece of the pie.
So you already got your invite?
Yes, I got my invite.
All right. I will be going for the large preliminaries in Frankfurt, Germany. So that's something. So wish me luck. Maybe this is something we need to talk about. What deck should I bring there to play? Another question. Did you face up against Broly?
I did. So my last match, I was up against a Broly HOM player. So the yellow Broly, not the green one.
No, not the green one.
So Height of Mastery, Victory Strike, yellow Broly.
That's right.
Okay.
So my last match was against Broly HOM. So I somehow managed to survive. In game 1, he had the Mira line of play. So he had Miras. He had 1 Mira, and he had 2 Supreme Kais and 2 Battering Lasers, and I was at 4 life. So if I was unable to combo out his Mira, I'll be dead for sure. But because of the high draw power of the deck, I managed to combo out 1 Mira. Yeah.
How do you combo out? So we are talking about the 7-drop Mira.
Yes, that's right. We're talking about the 7-drop Mira. That's right. Yeah.
Okay, because Height of Mastery, like the Broly himself, does not generate up a lot of draw power. So maybe that's why
it does have its own draw power with because of the leader swing. When you swing, you get 2 cards off the swing.
Yeah,
It does have its own draw power. But Mira, it's just Mira being Mira. You know, it gains 5k for every card in your walk. So there's that. I mean, by the time he has already amassed number of cards in his walk. So just for your info, the swing was at 90k. So
Okay.
and he played Supreme Kai, so it was a double strike. So I had to combo out that attack, and I managed to do so. But I dropped my almost my entire hand in the process.
So how do you win then?
So he was already at 1 life. He uses the
Okay.
he was at 2 life. So he used Broly's effect to untap Mira and to go for the swing again. But I think he lost by then. He really knew that he couldn't win. So he just did it for the LOL.
Okay.
Just for laughs, yeah.
Yeah, because after the first swing, the second swing, it's almost
It's
impossible.
irrelevant.
To,
Yeah, it's already irrelevant. Yeah.
because he can champa you, so he can double strike you. You still gonna have to.
Yeah, he can do that, and I'll just take life because I'm safe.
Yep.
He has no more attacks.
So he must have like finished. He must think that okay, his life is finished. If he doesn't. After the first swing does not go through.
Yeah, if the first thing doesn't go through, his is just dead. Yeah.
Did he go through? Did he try? So I believe there is more than one game, or this is best of one.
Best of 3. So in the second game, it was a bit more challenging. It was a bit more tight, and for some reason, I think he was unable to draw into his combo piece. So for example, he told me after the game that he had Path to Greatness in his hand, but he did not have HOM. So he was at a loss. He was at a loss of what to do, and I kind of steamrolled from there on because I was able to go into my, my Hercule and Pan play. And just a note for the guys out there, the Son Goku UI line of play is actually a good counter against Path to Greatness because if you look
Bounce it back.
Yes, you can bounce cards back. It ignores barrier. Although the effect did not say choose, but it says just send all the cards back. So
Yep.
Path to Greatness is the target of Ultra Instinct Goku. Yeah.
Okay. Maybe a question. Just so we talk about how do we deal with all these things, right? So it's definitely going to be very difficult to handle things like Victory Strike on
it is.
How powerful this decks, the meta decks are, right? So maybe another question. Previously, you said that when it comes to the Ultra Instinct engine, this is not your win con.
It's not my main. It's not my first win con.
Okay,
it's not
so
my
what is
main
your
win con.
first win con?
It's just the high draw power and the immense pressure from Pan. And usually, if I get to 4 energy, I almost always have 2 or 3 Hercules on the board, and you have 2 Pans on the board. You just keep swinging and swinging. If the opponent has no answer, then it's pretty much GG for them. And in this current meta, there's a lot of players who would love to self-awaken. So there's that.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's even better if your opponent plays a self-awakening deck. So you get to KO them even faster.
Okay. So like for me when I'm play testing it, I sometimes struggle with myself. When do I play one more Hercules? So how do you play more Hercules on the board other than the Vidale Engine, or you're using the Vidale Engine to play more Hercules on the board?
There were a number of times where I hard cast if I didn't have anything to do on turn 3, and trust me, there are times where you might break on turn 3. Yeah. So but you're right. I usually almost always cast Hercule through Vidale.
Okay. So, but Vidale needs 4 energy the second time you play it, right? Because
the second time I play, yes, I need 4 energy, but it's still a value play because I get 2 battle cards off Vidale. Yeah.
And you get 2 battle cards off Vidale. Not to mention that if your Hercule stays on the board, this is a draw 4.
Draw 4.
Then you have 2 double striker, dual attack 25k.
Next turn. Yeah.
And the next turn, and then at the end of the turn you untap 2.
Yes, that's right.
It's still a very, very safe play.
It is. Yeah.
I noticed you didn't play the SCR.
Yes, actually, I was thinking. I was thinking to include the SCR, but if I include the SCR, I have to take away one card, and it might it somehow disrupts the deck's line of play. But I'll find a way. I'll find a way to include the SCR.
Okay, maybe another question would be maybe the final question. Yeah.
Okay.
It's getting late for you. What would be, thinking back, what would you change about the deck?
To be honest, there is nothing much that I want to change about the deck. If there's anything I want to do, it's either I include the SCR or maybe I might include one more Ultra Instinct Saiyan Goku. Just for the thrill. Like, yeah. But in this current meta, negates are very important. So I almost always have to play around negates. So like I said, Ultra Instinct is not the main win call because it's still susceptible to negates.
Yep.
Yeah, it's something that you have to look out for. So but if there's anything I would like to change, I'll maybe just include the SCR just for the fun of it.
Yep, definitely. I think it's the SCR. It's one card, so I think that's the good part. But getting to 6 energy might be tough. But no matter what, Ultra Instinct, it's always a good option because it's if you don't get it through, it is still a one. What do you call it? It is still the opponent still needs to. It's a bot clear. The opponent needs to use one negate, and then it's a very high priority target on the board that cannot be removed by battle because your opponent has to have swing with something higher than 35 to take care of the Ultra Instinct.
Yes, but Ultra Instinct has no barrier. So if your opponent has a spot removal card, then GG.
Yeah, your opponent needs to take care of that. It's a very high priority, and if they don't take care of it, then they know that okay, the next turn that Ultra Instinct is gonna swing again. So Ultra Instinct cannot combo for the duration of the battle. It's like if your opponent swings a battle card that's 25k to your Ultra Instinct, laugh at him because that's
because he totally didn't read the fucking card.
Maybe I need to beep out that one word. I'm not sure, but they can sensu bean it, right?
They can.
But they will be wasting sensu anyways.
Of course, yeah. But if they have 4 sensu beans on hand and just want to kill Son Goku, be my guest.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah, I don't mind you using sensu bean for.
Yeah.
All right, good. Thank you, Alex. Any last word to our listeners, audience, the viewers?
Yeah, the viewers. So, like I said in the beginning, this is just really a fun deck, but it is somewhat competitive, and if you manage to pull off the turn 2 play, it really applies immense pressure to your opponent. But like I said, Pan is still susceptible to spot removal, but it's fine. It's fine because it already done its job, and then just enjoy the high cycling draw power of this deck. And I just want to add a last note. If you guys notice the side deck, you can see Melvin's favorite card, Gogeta Hero Revive.
I hate that card. I hate that card. My God, I hate the card with a pen. But okay, let's talk about the card. Okay. I'm not gonna talk about how shitty the card is. How are you supposed to cast this card out? Oh, all right. So when your Deadly Defender comes in, your Goku Path to Infinity. That's why you have Deadly Defender? Is that the reason why?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so Deadly Defender is actually an out against Victory Strike. So if you have if you are playing against a Victory Strike deck, I would suggest you to side in Deadly Defender because it's quite difficult to remove Deadly Defender. So for example, if they have to keep swinging into Deadly Defender and you have negates on hand or you have enough combo power, that's where they can't even do the Victory Strike to you because Deadly Defender has to be cleared off the field first before you can move in for a damage. But this is if you notice, it is also a target for Union Fusion.
So 20k with the new Inverse Box Sango.
Yeah, and to go into your most desired card, Gogeta
hero revive.
I got pretty good 2 weeks ago because I finally got good enough to that I drew
I know.
into a gate. I
know,
need to
love,
practice more.
I know. I love the sarcasm. Yeah.
All right, great. So, any more words to our viewers?
For those guys going to preliminaries, have fun, good luck, and all
Yep.
the best. Yeah.
Yep, good. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you again for
you.
sharing with us this particular thing. Yesterday
you.
when you messaged me, sorry I couldn't reply much because I was in a music festival and I drank quite a lot already. So
no worries. This is just being you. Yeah.
all right, good. So thank you guys for listening, to the audience, to the viewers. If there is any comment, please write down in the comment section. You know I always reply. And if you have any question to Alex, maybe Alex, if I saw any questions that you could answer, I will text you, or you could just take a look at the comment section. And if there's any questions that you can help us to answer, please help us to answer some questions from the viewers themselves. If not, guys, subscribe and like the video. See you guys in the next video. All right, ciao, guys.
Bye. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I had fun. Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't click the record button.
Huh?